안녕하세요, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, 입니다. Greetings to Consul General and his family, along with distinguished guests and members of the community who are all gathered virtually this year for the ceremony and observance of the National Foundation Day, commemorating the formation of the first Korean state dating back to 2333 BC. New York is fortunate to be home to one of the largest Korean communities in the country. The contributions of Korean nationals and Korean Americans in many areas are significant and influential. These contributions can be seen all around the world in education and the arts, in science and technology, and business and other industries. Today's celebration represents the enduring symbolism of the founding of the nation for individuals in South Korea, as well as here in New York, and fosters appreciation of this significant day among all generations with roots that trace back to Korea. Although we are commemorating the holiday in a different way than previous years, the significance of the history of the Korean state remains unchanged. I extend my best wishes to the Republic of Korea and the Korean community in New York on commemorating this important holiday. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from Queens, New York. From my family to yours, I want to wish you and the Korean American community a warm and joyous National Foundation Day. While we cannot celebrate in person with festivities, friends, and food, I'm honored to address you all virtually. Thank you to Consul General Ambassador Chang for the opportunity to say a few words. We have much to celebrate on this day, and I'm incredibly proud and honored to represent in Congress many Korean Americans who call Queens home. In Congress, I'm a staunch supporter of the U.S.-South Korea alliance, which is critical to international peace and stability. Born out of the ashes of the Korean War, the U.S. and South Korea formed a military alliance to prevent another war on the Korean peninsula. Since then, it's blossomed into a deep, multifaceted friendship that is grounded in shared values and norms. In this spirit, I'm proud to champion an initiative that would ensure the U.S. concludes an equitable 5-year cost-sharing agreement that permits U.S. military forces to be stationed in South Korea. I'm fighting to ensure we conclude a just agreement. I'm also working to ensure Korean Americans with families in North Korea can see their loved ones soon. While the Korean War is frozen in time, families remain separated by the war. That is why I introduced the Divided Families Reunification Act, which would finally require the State Department to prioritize this urgent issue. While my bill has passed the House, I hope the Senate will consider it in the future. With many Korean Americans and their families in North Korea approaching their 80s or 90s, we must move urgently. The strength of the alliance and well-being of Korean Americans will always be a top priority for me. Again, I want to wish you all a joyous National Foundation Day. 감사합니다.
Hi everyone, I'm Congressman Andy Kim, and I wanted to thank you for joining me in recognizing and celebrating Korea's National Foundation Day. It is so important that we continue to come together, even during the pandemic, even during the crises that we are facing, that we need to recognize what it is that bind us, that we recognize during these tough times, during these struggles, we are stronger when we have a community that we're embedded within. For me, as a Korean American that grew up in my family with a Korean American community surrounding us, I know how important that was for my development and how important it is for us all over this country. And that community, it's important that we have a voice, that we are able to talk about the issues that matter most to us and the priorities that we face. That's why I'm proud to be a Korean American in Congress. I'm the only Korean American in Congress and only the second in the history of the United States. And I hope that that changes soon. We want to make sure we have a stronger, more vibrant base and have that kind of voice within all levels of government. So I want to continue working with all of you on how it is that we can continue to build that up. All of us staying more engaged, being able to raise the issues that matter. That includes issues like the strategic relationship between the United States and South Korea, a cornerstone and pillar of the United States foreign policy, but it also just matters so personally to each and every one of us, as each of us embodies that type of strategic partnership and that relationship between these two great nations. So that is something that I'll continue to be working on every day in Congress, fighting to make sure that that alliance is treated with the honor and the resources that it needs to. And also for us to be thinking about other priorities within our community, whether it's support for our businesses, healthcare for our families, education to give us more opportunities. These are so important to the fabric of who we are and our participation within this great country. So those are the types of issues I hope to have a chance to be able to continue to work with all of you on. I hope in the future we can meet in person and be able to talk about these going forward. But in the meantime, please stay safe and healthy. I wish you and your families the best, and I'm glad that we have a chance to be able to mark this important day together.
안녕하세요. My name is Toby Stavisky, and I represent many of you in the New York State Senate. And I want to thank the Consul General, Ambassador One Sam Chang, for bringing us together to celebrate Foundation Day. The Gay Chang Jo, the first kingdom of Korea many years ago, and I think it's important that we all come together to celebrate these special occasions, whether it be the Foundation Day or the Liberation Day, because young people should understand what happened, and they will continue the tradition of passing it along to future generations. And these legends are so important, whether it be whatever community you came from, whatever country you came from, that we understand and respect each other. And let us hope that we come together next year in a more peaceful surrounding. We will get through this pandemic together, and I thank you for everything that you have done for the people of our community, and in fact for everybody. So, 감사합니다.
여러분 안녕하십니까? John Liu입니다. New York State Senator John Liu here, bringing you greetings on the occasion of Gaechonjol National Foundation Day, a very important holiday in Korea, celebrating freedom and democracy, what the nation stands for. And right here in New York, we are also very proud to commemorate this important day on October 3rd. And around this time of the year, we always gather at the consulate office in New York for a wonderful celebration where all of the community leaders come together, and many guests are in attendance as well. But because it's 2020 and with coronavirus, we're not able to have the usual gathering, but still important to remember this important day. So congratulations, and also much thanks to the consul's office for not only putting this together, but also for all the great service that you do in the community this year and so many other years. 감사합니다.